Recording. Hello, everybody. Boundaries, why it's so important. So today, we're going to talk about energy. When we talk about how to protect our energy, okay, we can talk about our actions, what to say. So if you imagine this is our actions, then if you go deeper, they're going to be our emotions and our feelings, how we feel when we say no, it's not okay. And then even deeper, there is a level of our energy, and this is what we are going to talk about today. So don't worry, it's not going to pop. I see like people like, oh my God, it's a balloon. So imagine times when you felt just like this, fully uplifted. Think of times when you felt very confident or you felt full of life, when you were enthusiastic. And let's pretend that you can step into this experience and be there. And just notice how it changes you when you are uplifted. Just like balloons, people, they look better, they feel better, and they are much more fun when they are uplifted. And now think of times when you felt like this, when even getting out of bed can be an issue. And if I could get back all the time when I felt like this, when I was curled into a ball and crying and not being able to do anything, when I felt deflated, depleted, defeated, I wish I could get it back. So what do we need if you want to spend more time in this fully uplifted state? Obviously, we need to breathe some life into ourselves, right? We need to give ourselves some energy. If we are out of juice, then we cannot do anything. But if you just blow your air in the air, you are wasting your breath. So you need to have a container. And you need to ensure that this container is secure. That this container holds your energy even under pressure, right? So this is why we need to know how to have boundaries. A lot of people, they think, well, I don't want to feel distant. I don't want to live behind the wall. And I understand it. So to me, it was a big learning to discover that you do not have to barricade yourself. You do not have to live in this, I am closed from everybody. You can be present, you can be engaged, and yet you can be safe. So as you can guess from my accent, I did not grow up in America. I grew up in the Soviet Union, and I was a child raised by scientists. Don't be alarmed, they were my mom and dad. I was not a science experiment. They grew up in a house filled with books. Anybody grew up around books? There were books in every room. And as a child, I used to climb the shelves like a Spider-Man, looking for this book on this top shelf. So you can imagine, I was a nerd. I was a weird kid. And I was painfully shy. I felt much more confident in a company of dogs. If you ever talked to a dog, you know, they know how to listen. They are all ears. With people, it was more difficult. So imagine me at the age of 22, and I am still a nerd, and I am still very awkward, very shy, and I am very, very on guard. I am feeling lonely. And I decided to investigate the polar bear plunge. And yes, I read about it. And I thought, it's fun. I'm going to do it. So imagine me standing in my swimming suit, and I'm very thin. I'm like a skinny girl, and I'm standing on ice, barefoot. And I'm looking at this dark water. It's still, it's almost black. And it's framing in sparkling ice and snow. And I don't think I can do this. I am having a second thought. I'm frozen in place. And there is a guy, and he looks like a spiritual guy with a beard. And he just climbed out of this icy cold water. His skin is steaming and red, and he has this toned, muscular body. And he says, "Hey, girl, don't just stand there, jump." And I jump. And he is right. It feels amazing. My breath stops. My skin tingles, and as I climb out, giddy and giggly, he says, "Take my hand and let's just stand. Let's just breathe the energy." He was so different from everybody else. He was a spiritual guru to me. So, have you ever felt all of a sudden you are dropping all the guards? Just a moment ago, you had all the guards, all the protection, and then you trust this person. All of a sudden, it's just like opening the gate. And if you are like me, if you grew up a lonely child who was yearning for somebody to reach out, then you know how good it feels. It feels incredibly good when you just drop your guards. So think back of all the times when you did this. And what was the key? What they needed to do to make you feel, feel so good with this person. Maybe he's the one. So ladies, 7 years I spent in this up and down roller coaster, when some days are wonderful and he's loving and he's kind and he is a spiritual guru and we have this close connection. We are like this. There is no boundaries. There is no separation. We are like one. And then all of a sudden he's very angry and he's screaming and he's yelling and every word gets cut right through my skin and goes into my heart. And then, of course, if you ever experienced this, if you ever knew people like this, you know that then he explained to you. He had a reason. The reason why he got so angry, it was something I said. Or maybe it was my voice. or maybe it was the wrong face that I had. Or maybe I moved wrong way, but it was something me. And I would take all of it. So when you experience this, when you don't know how to separate, when you don't know how to distinguish, hey, this is your opinion, this is not mine. This is what you think. This is not who I am. If you don't know how to do this, that those opinions, those judgments will keep getting under your skin and they can undermine your confidence. They can destroy you. You may start losing a sense of who you are. You will start giving your power away. And since then, like I'm glad to say, eventually I got out of this, but it cost me 7 years. And eventually I fell in love and I found my one and only true love. I fell in love with my own mind. And I decided that I will learn how to use it. Well, I also moved to America. I got into a new partnership, had married, and in 20 years, not once he said anything cruel to me. So it was not me. Apparently it was not me. So I'm going to show you slides because it's important to understand. A lot of people have totally wrong ideas of what do we need to do internally. A lot of people think that if you are constantly tense, if you are constantly on guard, if you are constantly distancing from people, that you are safe, but it's the opposite. Because when you do this, you get lonely on the inside. And then a person who knows how to open the door will get straight to you. So there is another way. So before we go to slides, I'm going to show you slides. Is there any questions before we? Okay, so I'm going to show you just a little bit of slides on boundaries. Boundaries can change your life. It can change everything. So, boundaries. We're going to do some mental activities, and they, better than anything else, will allow you to absorb and understand everything I teach you. So take a deep breath. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes or just make them a little bit more softer, more relaxed. And imagine yourself inside of a house. And it could be any house. So just be there. Just be inside a house. And then open your eyes if you closed your eyes. And what house you imagined? And I am going to use my special powers. A house you imagine it had windows, right? Walls and a door, right? Because of course it is. Oh, because if there is no windows and no doors, it's just a box. And if there are no walls, it's outdoors. So now, let's imagine you all are children. And let's imagine you don't know the story. I'm going to tell you a story. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs. And they decided to build. Each decided to go out and said, I want to build a house. And one pig, he said, I don't want to work that much. I will build a house out of straw. And another pig said, well, I want a little bit more secure. I will build a house out of wood. And another pig said, I will build a house out of bricks. Want my house to be very strong. And sure enough, one day there was a wolf walking through the forest. Hungry, hungry, hungry. I'm smelling pigs, bacon. And he came across a house built out of straw. I am going to huff, I am going to puff, I am going to blow the house down. And yes, the house fell and the pig started running very, very fast. And just in time, ran into the house made out of wood. And the wolf said, ooh, bigger lunch. I'm going to huff, I'm going to puff, and I'm going to blow the house down. And it took him a little bit more, but the house was gone and 2 little pigs. And just in time, they ran into a house made out of bricks. And the big bad wolf said, I'm going to huff, I'm going to puff, and I'm going to have a much bigger meal. And no matter how hard he was huffing and puffing, 3 little pigs were sitting inside, and one pig looked at another pig and said, you know what? Some people are relentless when they try to bring you down. But if your boundaries are strong, you can just sit in your house and think, hey, there's somebody outside. And he is huffing, he is puffing, but I am safe. So this is me and my dog. I love my dog. And I'm so glad that my dog and I, we have skin. Because if we did not have skin, we could not be so connected. You see, she is a dog, she's very different. She has fur, and I have my delicate skin. And if I had maybe allergies, or if I had wounds all over my skin, I could not be that close to my dog. So a lot of time, people think that boundaries separate people, but it's the opposite. If you have boundaries and if they are strong, just like your skin, you can be very close, but still be safe. That's the whole purpose. So now, let me ask you a question. Where do you end? When I decided to fall in love with my mind, I started studying many tools, qigong, hypnosis, and I started seeing clients. And I realized I was struggling. I was struggling because I was taking everything in. Every time a client was emotional, I would feel every emotion. And every time they would tell me a story, I would be right there with them. And it was exhausting. And I shared my concerns with a person who was more experienced. And she said, well, Anna, take a deep breath and close your eyes. And you can do it too. You can take a deep breath and you can close your eyes. And ask yourself this question, where do I end? And where the world begins? You know, you have your skin, right? You have the tips of your fingers and the tip of your nose. But it's not where you end. So I checked and I extended my energy and I felt into the space around me. And you can do it too now. And when you rewatch it, you can really spend your time and do this. Extend yourself into the space all around you and ask yourself this question. My answer was, wow, I am unlimited. I'm as big as the universe. Well, the issue with this is that she asked me the next question and it blew my mind. She said, Anna, okay, now think of other people. Where do you end and where they begin? And it was then when I realized I had no boundaries. I did not know how to separate my energy from everything else. I was always in this deeply intimate relationship, or I was behind my wall, separated, cut off, disconnected, and I did not like it. It did not feel good to be numb, to be detached from people. So could it be something in between? So if you think about the world all around you, there are boundaries. Every object, everything has boundaries. Individual organisms. Boundaries can be external and internal, material and energy boundaries. you have your inherited and conditioned boundaries, personal, professional, cultural, individual, and familiar and intimate. They're all different. So now let's introduce a concept. What is your spiritual property? If you think of everything you are, everything you love, everything you ever experienced, all your mistakes, all your lessons, all your gifts, all your powers, people you love, music you love, everything which is you, if you start thinking about it as your property, and then you start defining it. So energy boundaries are defining your spiritual property. So every time you have some boundary, there is a purpose. Separate the inside and the outside, just like your skin. There is a difference. So imagine being in your skin, and then imagine floating out of your skin and looking at yourself from outside. Notice there is difference. And now go inside your skin. There is distinct difference. You have to keep the inside safe, just like a house, just like your skin allows storing on the inside. Think about your treasures. Think about things that you love. Where do you keep it? Outside or inside? Organize the inside. Just like your body has organs, just like inside your home, you have rooms, you have closets. The same way your mind is organized. Everybody is different. You have your beliefs, you have your perceptions, you have your ideas, you have your way you work with energy, and it's different for everybody. And most importantly, create a space to develop and decorate. If you imagine your body is your body, your house is your house, and the same with your mind, with your energy. You have your path, you have your gifts, your talents, and you are the only one who can develop this space. So let's stop and think for a moment. If you could claim this space, if you could truly claim it, this is my property, and I am going to develop it, what would be different? You see, energy matters. It's not wrong. So everything I teach, take what you want. Think what is beneficial to you. But there are consequences. If you don't have clarity. So now let's all take a deep breath and let's do some check. All of this we all experience, but to what extent? So go inside and check how often you feel overwhelmed. How often you feel, I cannot take it anymore. Like you feel like you are spilling over. And critical comments get under your skin. You may feel drained after talking to certain people. You cannot say no, and you live under pressure to always say yes. I know how it feels because I would pile my plate so high that I would not have time for myself. I would not have time to breathe. And yet I would say, yes, I can do it. Even though I already had too much, but I could not say no. And you often feel annoyed, irritated, or upset when other people do something that you believe they should not be doing. And everything they say gets right into you, just like I experienced it. And everything is in your heart immediately. And I know a lot of people, they say, but Anna, I'm an empath. I want to feel everything. But think about this uplifting energy. Think about your energy, which makes you feel good in your body. Think about this clear source of light that you have on the inside. Would you poison it? Just because you are kind, you are under no obligation to take all poison in. You can decide to keep it out of your system, even though you can still be very kind. Another metaphor. This is me, and my skin gets burned really easily. If I'm under the sun, I'm a toast. I'm a lobster. I get red. So I have to apply some SPF on my skin. So think about EPF, protecting your energy. What if you could apply something soothing, protective all over your energy skin? What would it change? So it's time to take your power back. I so wish I knew this. I wish I had a choice. I wish I knew how to separate what other people think, say, and do from me, from my energy. It gives you power. So there are 5 steps. First, it's very obvious, separate the inside and outside. Next, protect the inside. Next, bring your treasures on the inside. Next, take the garbage out. And 5, very important, all those steps, they have to be applied to yourself and other people. So let's look at steps. Let's take another deep breath and just notice your body. And let's think a thought. If you could think anything, let's imagine a flower or a dog or a cat. And notice that you just created it. You created it with your mind. And this means that it's yours. But other people, they create thoughts and feelings and opinions with their mind, and this belongs to them. So what if you decided to claim it? Think of things which you own, which you would never give away to anybody. This is mine. My dog is my dog. I will not let anybody to take my dog. So think the same way about everything you create with your mind. And this is how you can start separating. Oh, I did not create it. It's not mine. This is not my energy. And the reason, if you are a person who feels all the feels, who feels that you have no skin, there is a reason. We have mechanisms that are responsible. One is mirror neurons. Think about a system which allows you to guess, to understand what people are feeling. And it's just like mirrors, they reflect. If you are gifted, if you are very good at it, you are going to feel all the feels. A limbic resonance. Under your neocortex, you have your limbic brain. And this is like the heart of your brain. This system allows you to resonate with other people, to kind of groove with them. And again, if you are talented, if you are very good at it, that you are going to feel other people's feelings, and you are going to have difficulties distinguishing, is it my feeling or not? Please understand that we are talking about gifts, not weaknesses. This is our gifts, this is our special powers. And the next is very interesting. I did not know that the reason I felt so much pain every time a person would yell at me, because I could literally feel it. So you know people who can listen to music and see it in their mind. So they listen and see, and it's fused together, synesthesia. The same can be about your auditory and your feelings. You can literally feel in your gut when somebody is yelling at you. It may be like a punch in the gut. So what can you do about it? Not much. Not much. You are going to feel it. It's the next step. Is the next step of understanding, hey, I'm feeling it because I have a gift, but it's not my energy. So you stop going down the rabbit hole and and allowing people to define you, to debase you, to destroy you. Next, protect the inside. Why it's so important? You just have to decide. This is very important. Think about your neurology as your technology. Your brain is an organ. Every nerve is real physical organ, is living cells. They are delicate. And you are immersed in your own chemistry, in your own energy. So what energy you have on the inside, every cell is going to feel it. So I imagine little dogs, little animals, and I say, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to protect you because you are my living animals in my body. And everything you do, everything you think and feel, it's all created by your technology. So it's making a choice, saying, hey, I'm going to be my guardian. I'm going to love myself. And your cells, every cell, inside of it, there is a chamber of light, and they make you energy. They pump juice in your body. If you are out of juice, you are dead. If you are low on juice, you are deflated. So it makes sense to start taking care of your energy. Next, bring your treasures on the inside. What gives you joy? We started with this balloon, with this feeling of being uplifted, being confident in your body, knowing who you are, what is your essence. So if you start thinking about all your feelings, which are so important to you, and understand that you are the creator, the only reason you feel good when a person looks at you and they maybe flatter you, maybe they give you attention, maybe they do something else which just makes you feel so good. It's okay to enjoy it. It's totally okay to enjoy it. But don't turn this person into your dealer of drugs, because no matter how secure is your home, if you need your drug, if there is a feeling that you can only feel when other people give you this feeling and they knock on your door, you're going to open this door and you're going to take any abuse because you need the drug. So to me, learning how to take ownership of my feelings and say, hey, what can I do to help myself feel joy? And this is me in Thailand. I went to Thailand to study energy. And what I learned that our energy is very, very real. And we can learn how to manage it. And it's important to be mindful because the world today is pulling you in all directions. The world wants you to be out there, to be engaged in something on the outside. But if you want to take care of your home, then you need to be home. You need to come back home. So learning to bring your mind back and check what's going on with my energy is very important. And this brings us to the next topic. If you come home and it's dirty and it's filled with junk and gunk, if other people can freely come and dump their garbage on you, and how you're going to feel? You're not going to feel good, right? So you need to have a system how you are going to release, just like your garden. Our negative feelings and all this heavy and painful energy, it's not bad. They are like weeds in a garden. But if you let them grow, if you water them, they're going to take over. So you need to take them out. And the best thing is just grounding. When I work with clients, I give them techniques, but the simplest thing, put your feet on earth and just breathe into earth and imagine releasing all this energy, especially if you are gifted and you feel all the feels. If you have the talent, you have to find a way to ground yourself and release so you could feel more, so you could be more present. And next, you have to apply it to others as well. You are the goddess in your temple, or you are the king, or you are the owner of your spiritual home, but so are everybody else. And learning to have respect for other people and understanding them, well, I may not like what they're doing. I may not approve of their choices. I may even choose to disconnect from them, but it's their choice. It's their energy, not mine. So we are going to go into a process, into a meditation. And before we do it, just imagine what it would be like for you to have freedom, to take care of your energy, to bathe your neurology, your best neurochemistry, and to be able to have trust in who you are, instead of constantly allowing other people to tell you who you are. So before we go into a process, just a little bit of, if you want to know more, and if you are curious, then I have a book. And if you go to annamargolina.com, you can download a chapter for free. So let's stop sharing. And now let's take a deep breath. It was a lot. And just check with yourself what it means to you. What you can apply, what you can use, and where, with whom you can apply it. So let's take a deep breath, and if you are comfortable, take a deep breath and close your eyes. And let's play a game of pretend. And first, pretend that you are very good at it. You can pretend that you can pretend really well. And then get in touch with your body and just notice where you are. Where is your skin? Where is your real skin? And notice your energy. And then imagine a bubble and wrap it all around you and make it any color you like. Could be gold, could be blue or pink, whatever is color which you really enjoy. And ensure that you can see through it, that it's soft, it's pleasant. And let's start bringing all your treasures on the inside. Think about all your ages, the baby you, the child you, teenager you, and all the ages. Everything you love, everything you truly believe in. And as you bring your energy on the inside, notice that it has its distinct quality. Everybody on this call and everybody who is going to listen to it is very distinct. Nobody is the same, you're unique. So imagine wrapping everybody in a bubble. And think that inside they all have all the ages, all the memories, all the emotions, the way they get angry, the way they get sad, the way they fall in love, all their beliefs, things they love, music they listen to, and notice that they all are distinct and the same. And if you want to connect, imagine sending a bridge from your heart to their heart and make it pleasant. Maybe rainbow bridge, maybe golden bridge, maybe sparkling bridge. And put a guard on this bridge. This guard will decide when enough is enough. I love you, but it's too much. I love you, but it's your energy, not mine. I love you, but this will not come into my energy field. And just imagine going forward in your days and doing it, practicing it. Every day, the more you practice it, the more real it becomes. So as you process this, I want to finish with a story. So imagine me in 2018, and I got a call. Hi, mother. Anna, I don't know how you will react to it, but the guy, your ex, he passed away. Click. And I am sitting and I don't know what to feel. He passed away. It was such a long time ago. What do I feel? I don't feel anything. I'm numb. And then I realized I never processed it. I just locked the door and I sat in my chair and I started breathing and I wrapped myself into my energy field, into my shield, and I wrapped him into a bubble and made it small, not big. And one by one, I separated. Oh, this was your opinion, not mine. This was your belief, not mine. And one by one, I was taking those icicles out of my heart, out of my skin, out of my energy field until I was free. And tears started flowing down my face. And I realized that we both did not have any boundaries. We kept irritating each other. We kept stepping into each other's spiritual toes. And all this yelling and screaming could be avoided if both of us knew how to be responsible for our energy. And then I could let it go, and I could even love him again, but differently, on a distance. And this is what you will experience the more you will start separating your energy and the energy without any anger, without any resentment, without any fear. Because, hey, it's not mine. This is not mine. This is not mine. This is my energy. This is who I am. And now I have my space that I can develop, decorate. So I'm going to stop my video recording, and we will talk if you have questions.